Hello, this is Joseph Andrew Johnson, okay? Right now I'm at my daughter's house at home in the United States, and I'm pretty sick, okay? I was hoping to be in Egypt right now, Cairo, Egypt, last month, and things didn't work out. Okay, but here's the thing, I'm learning stuff as I sit here and watch. This is concerning the world. This is concerning things like Hezbollah, or which basically means the party of God. Though you call yourselves the party of God, I'm not going to doubt you are. I will give you that. Hamas, too, believe they are working for God in a rebellion. Okay? The Jews, too, have a planned genocide for Palestine. When Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the world, he said that it was a genocide. He's seen maps that didn't include Palestine at all. It was only Israel. The thing about it is, when you say the word God, like I say God's living ministry, gods are living. They're living in us. There's a God living in me. There's a God living in you. The God's living in everybody. But the gods living in us, if you can understand this, have gone wild and are wild. God can't even, God the Creator can't even control them. Now, if you want to give God the Creator another name, then is life. So let's give God that name, life, for the time being, right now, so that you can understand. Any religion that tries to end life is against God, against the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand that? Now, Muslim and Islam both have a solution, calling out Allah, which is better than you calling God, because God is not a God. He's Allah. He's the Creator. He is life. He created God, and God, like Jesus Christ, is the Son of God. The God in me is a son of God. Could be a daughter of God. Everybody got to realize where God is. The closest you can ever come to God right now is look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Go to a mirror and look at it. Look at yourself. You look exactly like the God inside you. You was born the same day. You were born the same time. You were born the same split second. And God is the energy. He is life. And He's constantly talking to you, constantly in you, lives your whole life with you, and gives you all the emotions, gives you all the dreams, hopes, desires, and does everything He can to make all your dreams come true. He also tries to stop you. But if you don't listen to Him, there's nothing He can do, or she can do. No religion can call themselves, say they believe in God, if they're killing God. Inside each person, if God lives here, we have unborn children inside of us. And we have children in our DNA. Now, the children in our DNA is kind of different now, because as of September 21st, 2025, there was a rapture when Jesus separated the good from the bad in DNA, and all the And he took everybody from the DNA and put them in a new world, the quantum world, that has always been there. You know, for every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction, right? So you know what's Einstein dealt with, and quantum engineers and quantum mechanics deal with. They don't really know, but they know it's out there. They absolutely do, because you can see your reflection. You look in the mirror. Why are you looking in the mirror? Because on the other side of that mirror is the quantum world. Once you start walking away from that, there, and you get out of sight of that mirror, God's out of sight too. God's out of sight. So his world, he's got an immense world, way on bigger than our world. Think about it. Everybody from Adam and Eve, the day on September 21st, 2025, everybody from Adam and Eve, Cain, I'll even say Abel, his wife Aklima, Enoch and A1, Ared, Methuselah. There's two of them very close to the name, like Methuselah, but they're two sons born there before Lamech. Okay, on Cain's side. Then you had Seth, Enos, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Lamech, and Noah. Now you see what I'm saying? All these people were born. They had bloodlines. There was a mixture in bloodlines between when everything happened with Ada and Zillah and the Nephilim. And the Nephilim were here. The Nephilim explain everything weird about our planet and aliens and everybody. They explain everything. But they too were like 200 in number. But their children weren't responsible. They were just born, hey, half human and half angel. That doesn't mean they were bad. Those children weren't bad. They were still children of God, the Creator. Because everything's created by the Creator. I don't think, you see, if God made any mistake at all, it was to trust the angels first, like the devil. To trust the devil, to trust the angels, then trust us. God's got a big, big heart, very big heart. Therefore, God's coming right now. Soon, I will introduce GODScoin to this world. And every person's will receive GODScoin. Every person. And the GODScoin will be worth $100,000 apiece. When they get their first GODScoin, everybody gets their first GODScoin. They are to go to their own bank and deposit $100,000 in that bank to keep all the banks in the world running at a normal speed. Those who are 18 that want to can become peacemakers. It means they can work for one GODScoin to 5 GODScoin, depending on what they do at their job, a month. So they will be millionaires. You know, everybody's going to be close to millionaires depending on the family size, because a family of 4 will get $400,000 in GODScoin just for being born. Okay, if they're 18, they can join the Peacemakers and become God's Peacemakers. God's Peacemakers ain't playing around. They will be voters first off. Everybody in this world that says it's a peacemaker will be. So that means hopefully everybody in the world that's 18 becomes a peacemaker. That means that if there's that, then who's running the government? Everybody. That's a peacemaker. Okay? Now basically everybody that's a peacemaker will be a micromanager of this world. For God. They'll make up their minds how they want this world to be. They'll decide the morality. They'll decide everything else. Now I, as a church, when I give somebody a GODScoins are dated by a person's birth date, by the birth name, and their birthplace. That's all the identification that's ever going to be collected ever again on anybody. Okay? We're going to end the data collection altogether. It'll be ended by voters. You understand how this works? The voters are going to take away the power of government and militaries. Okay? The only one that's going to have any ammunition, you could have all the guns you want. Go buy all the guns you want. But you won't be having bullets. And if you try to manufacture bullets, go ahead. You'll be outnumbered. I mean, you'll run out of bullets fast. If you can manufacture 1,000 bullets, how long are they going to last you? Okay? The thing about it is, as soon as you make a mistake and you start earning GODScoin and you're part of a peacemaking group, if you start doing anything anti-God, not anti-Christ, anti-God, that's the mistake Christians made. They talk about the anti-Christ. Well, I guess I'm the anti-Christ too. Why? Because anti-Christ put Christ, Jesus Christ, way above God. Now, the true person that started all this mess was Paul. Paul started this mess way back when he didn't even know Jesus, but yeah, he put Jesus to a level that people don't want to die to be with God. They want to die to be with Jesus. And Jesus is the kind of guy that says, well, if you're not part of us, then you're all going to hell. No, Jesus never said that, but Christians said that. They were judges, and they're judging by, they're making these comments, and they're actually blasphemous in their words because they everything they say and everything they do and act is against God, the Creator. They're not living life, they hate life. They hate life except for being in church. Again, what's the name of Allah? What's the name of the Creator? I won't even say God. Life. Life. If you're against life, you're against God. What religion can claim God? None. None. Not a religion ever in this world. That's what God's going to stop. That's why God's going to make everybody in this world a millionaire with GODScoin. You'll get the money because, frankly, if He has to, God will destroy all the currencies in the world, and there will be nothing but good money. But in God's way, He wants everybody to have their own currency, to break down GODScoin into usable things. And if you make mistakes, you won't lose your GODScoins except for by paying your fines and your jail term and your restitution, whatever, right? But then you can go back to earning GODScoin. You won't lose it permanently. If you commit a violent crime, for instance, if you're a rapist, you're going to be castrated. You're not going to be able to have children. Any woman that creates a horrible, horrible crime, or any kind of crime that's going to keep her locked up in here, she will have her eggs cryogenically will be harvested and put into cryogenics, where she can get them back, or so they can be adopted out. They're not in any harm if they're being frozen. Any doctor that performs a hysterectomy or anybody who performs an abortion will harvest a woman's eggs before these happen. We are here to protect life, and we're again the peacemaker. To Islam, I'm being known as the Mahdi. This is al Qiyamah, meaning the end of time. When somebody's going to come, I guess the anointed one is myself. So, Jews, you listen up. You're looking for the Messiah. I'm not calling myself Messiah Jesus. I'm calling myself the Messiah that's coming, that was appointed to bring order back to this world. Order and justice back to this world. For after this, everybody in the world is going to be able to vote. Meaning, who's going to be against the law, and what will the laws be? There'll be a new internet coming that's free of speculations, free of ignorance. You know, all the stupid stuff in this world is going to end. We'll end up getting off of digital and going back to analog filming and things like that. And we'll analyze. Oh, we'll let people analyze what, by their morality clauses and what they want. What do they want their future generations to learn? Do they want them to learn about the cowboys and Indians? Do they want to hear about the spooky, unnatural, and what do you call it? Or do they want to just, because you see, everybody in this world's been brainwashed. Everybody in this world has to be debriefed right now. This is debriefing. Again, I'm the peacemaker, and there's going to be plenty more peacemakers. Hopefully, every 18-year-old in the world. Every peacemaker will become a police officer. Will be trained for a year to become a police officer. Certified. They'll be certified to become a paramedic. Everything's going to be accountable. You kill, you're held accountable. You steal, you're held accountable. You lose your GODScoin right away. You're told to go home. Investigators, like just cheap off the wall, anybody can come and get your money to dig up the dirt behind you. And when they dig up the dirt, we're not talking about FBI, we're not talking about CIA, we're not talking about any part of government that's going to go do this. And they're going to take that money, GODScoin, whatever they charge, out of your money. Or they're going to keep build up a charge against you that you owe them money if they're found guilty. And that's what their job is to prove you guilty. So they'll dig up the dirt. They'll take that chance. There's going to be a program God wants started called Come Clean. All criminals can turn themselves in. And when they turn themselves in, if they're scared to be turned in, they can go into like a witness protection program. But they won't be sent to any country they know of or whatever. They'll be sent to any, to national lands. And they'll be sent there with a film crew, designers, architects, engineers, landscapers, a whole bunch of people, filmmakers and producers. And they'll be on reality TV. And they'll have unlimited funds through that TV to build a paradise in some place that nobody's ever seen, can get to, will know of. And they'll be directly hooked to the jail cells, where they can talk to them in the hallway, on TV, monitor them, communications with them, and visit them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Talk to their children. They talk to their spouses. Okay? This goes for girls and guys. Now remember, when you're inside that jail cell, every woman has been, how do you say, had her eggs harvested. She could look forward to still having her children when she gets back out, one at a time. Now, what I'm trying to say is this is God's world, and this is ultimately it's going to be 100% democracy run by a ruler. The ruler's not me. I mean, I'm the speaker for the world, but a speaker of God. I won't give up on God, and I can't be influenced. I can't be influenced. God hears every word I say, and I do. If anybody's going to criticize me, it's going to be God. Your job, first off, if you know anything about God, is not to think about God in a negative way. To accept God. That's the whole purpose of saying, if you don't believe in God, then why are you breathing? How are you breathing? How are you thinking? You can't even possibly understand what I'm talking about if you don't know God. God is behind every blink in your eye. God is behind. Now remember, I said the word God. But the Creator's behind you too. The Creator's inside you is the Spirit. The energy is life that gives God, every God, is the energy to be born. The God inside you only knows as much as it only knows. It'll know more than you know. That's for sure. But not. But never know more than God. It's not God. Jesus was not God. In Jesus' wording, he made a lot of mistakes. We'll get through that. But anyway, GODScoin's coming. And that's like I told you, I'm watching these programs right now. And it came to my mind about what God put in my mind. And so showed me a program about Hezbollah and Hamas. Hezbollah means basically the army of God. No, you're not the army of God. You call people infidels, but you're the infidels. You decided for God that you're going to fight and kill God on your own. Where's that put you in as far as God goes? You can't even say the word God. Jews can't say the word God. Christians can't say the word God. And Christians better start saying the word God instead of putting Jesus Christ above God. I prefer to use the word Allah than use the word God because they're not the same. The God in me, I love the God in me, but the God in me is pretty decent God, but not the God in anybody else. They haven't got the clue of who God is. If so, they would have happened already. That somebody else besides me can listen to God, hear God, talk to God, and see God every day. God doesn't spend a day, doesn't spend very long before, it's only seconds between us most of the time. Sometimes it could be a minute or two longer, but it's never too far away. God's behind my every thought because I'm always asleep. I used to be a person, well, let's put it this way. I was a martial artist and a badass. Okay? And when I used to grew up, I fought against bullies. And I saw people brainwashed all my life. Brainwashed to hate, to want to fight each other, try to kill each other. They were trained to dislike each other. competitive, and God tried to stop that with the Ten Commandments. My God, the Jews got the Ten Commandments straight from God. Thou shalt not kill. What did he do? They went on killing rampages. Crossed over into Canaan and started killing the Canaanites, the Amorites, the Hittites, everybody in the land of Canaan. They just tried to take the land of milk and honey, and they claimed it. Then what's the next commandment that faces that they broke? Thou shalt not steal. If they're going to steal the lands of the Canaanites and the land of Israel, then that's not their land. They never had a land. They had a land and a home in Egypt. Egypt treated them very well. They treated the Semites very well. They treated the Sumerians very well. Everybody was happy building the pyramids. They were drinking beer and eating well. They ate beef and they ate fish as their main diet. You couldn't drink the water of the Nile because of the parasites. When they had some alcohol inside beer, enough alcohol, it wasn't real high proof beer, but it was about 7.7, almost 8. Yeah, people are still making Egyptian beer, and they're making it the same way they did back 4,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago, they were drinking beer to stay alive, to stop the dysentery, to stop the pestilence, botulism, all kinds of things came from the river. And that's why they drank beer. And there was enough alcohol in that, into beer, that it kept everybody happy. They built the pyramids. But they were also contracting, the Sumerians contracted, which was an elite class that never knew it, secretly, like an organization, contracted themselves to build the pyramids. They were Semites, but they were actually called Shemites. Shem's people, the best of the best of Shem's culture. The Shemites were Horites. The Horites did not. They didn't breed outside their own bloodline. They were purebloods. Okay? And so they kept a lot of secrets between them. Outside the family, they didn't have any interference from anybody. But the elite did. They learned Sumerian. They learned cuneiform. They learned how to the languages. Language and also the architecture of the fallen angels. Okay? Now, what I'm saying is these people were very, very smart and predated everything on earth. You will talk about this more. You'll learn more. You'll learn all about it, especially when you die, because they'll all be alive. Adam and Eve will be alive. Everybody, all questions will be answered the day you die. Now, because they're in a mirrored world. Think about this, you people in quantum physics. Dying is as easy as stepping over straight into a mirror. The quantum world's on the other side of that mirror. You can't get any closer to God than you are right there facing God in the mirror. The minute you turn your back, you're leaving God's world behind. Where you been? Where you been going? Now God's going to give you millions of dollars. You'll all be millionaires to buy whatever you want. So this world, and you'll lose that dollar once you start going astray. So God's going to give this world every chance to straighten up. The only one that's going to have any ammunition, you have all the guns you want, but you won't have any ammunitions, not even military. Nope, not even the military. Why? You're going to be, it's accountable. Accountable. Everything's accountable. You're going to lose your money. And you're going to be put in prison. Men, When you go to jail, you're gonna receive a reversible vasectomy. Now it's a horrible crime. You will be castrated like in rape. So catch that, um, Islam. Catch that, uh, Hezbollah. Catch that, Hamas. Catch that, anybody that's a terrorist group that thinks that rape is justified. You soon, you're going to be walking around like monks if you keep that up. Okay? I'm going to leave this program right now and put this on YouTube. But this is what I want to tell Selena, Aria, Mulder, Rolex, especially Warwick. These are the people. All of them got between 8 years and 4 years of college. They're part of my team. They're the first peacemakers you'll meet in Egypt. Well, I'll be getting to Egypt very soon, to Cairo very soon. But please, don't give up. Don't give up. You are the peacemakers that help make all this come about. Warwick, you got a marketing degree, a bachelor, a BA degree in as a marketing degree, and you're going to market God. But I'm just telling everybody right now, I'll be selling to this world a GODScoin for 1 unit of your money, the 1 Egyptian pound, 1 Burundian franc, 1 Congolese franc, 1 Korean won, 1 South Korean won, 1 Remimbi in China, 1 ruby in India. You know, whatever country you got, 1 British pound, whatever. I'll be selling a GODScoin. I will be keeping a duplicate GODScoin. Remember, I said every GODScoin is going to be dated with your birth date, with your birthday. The duplicate, I get a duplicate of each one. Why? Because in actuality, when I give you one, you got another coming to you. That's the one I invest. That's the one I pay you wages with, but I also invest. I have a bunch of businesses to start, including God's Air, a luxury airlines with A380 Airbuses, God's Air. I got to get China working on nuclear reactors. A home, each home's a nuclear reactor, a small nuclear reactor that fits in everybody's home, that is safe. But nobody ever had to use energy again, not even solar or wind. Last 30 years, but even the replacement's going to be free. Because the governments will have to is paying for all your energy. Internet's free. Daycare is free. All health care is free. Everything in this world will be free. Why? Because I'm paying all the wages. Nobody's going to charge wages ever again. Every business you'll be earning GODScoin. For one, as an associate, the lowest form inside a business will be just a regular associate that doesn't know anything or is just learning. Everybody's learning though in this business. The next will be a team leader. Then getting 2 GODScoins a month. Then it'll be a supervisor making 3 GODScoins a month. Then it will be a manager who's making 4 GODScoins a month. And then the presidents of banks and everybody else will be retarded kids. They will be disabled kids. They'll be weekend warriors. Wounded warriors, brothers. Not I shouldn't have said that. But like I said, they're going to have people with disabilities and things. But they're going to be presidents. They don't have to know nothing. Not putting you down, Warwick, but, that's Warwick's going to be the president of the first GODScoin bank. because he wished for it. And God's granting his wish. He always has. It's just having trouble getting there because so far we haven't been able to get the attention of this world. But Elon Musk, think about what's going to happen as soon as I mentioned everybody can buy GODScoin for $100,000 a month for $1. And then on the following month in the United States, the GODScoin's going up to $100,000. Actually, it's already going to be $100,000. I'll allow the people of the United States to buy it for $1, a GODScoin for $1, but the whole world will be receiving $100,000. $100,000. So in Egyptian, that comes to 5,000 Egyptian pounds. In Burundi, that comes to 3,500. Actually, 35,000 Burundian francs. Think who's going to be the richest. The last will be first, and the first will be last. The world has no choice. Think about this. They're not giving you time to think. I only have a week or two before I get on a plane. Maybe a month or two before I get on a plane and make it to Cairo. I don't know when I can make it to Cairo. Like I said, my health is down right now. That's when I'm able. But I'm here with the word that's going to be on the thing, with my book. You can go on Amazon and get my book. That's going to be on Kindle, written in English, written in Egyptian, written in Arabic. Okay. Sold out of Egypt on Amazon Egypt, but every Amazon. And when we get it through there, you'll read the conditions of GODScoin. Now here's the thing: who's going to deny God? You can't deny God. You're breathing. You're living. You're sharing every heartbeat with God. You're sharing every breath with God. Remember, God's inside us.